Hey guys, it's Carolina here from KarolinasKrafts and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have an engagement album I wanted to share with you guys. So if you guys have been following along for a while, I have made an engagement album before with the same ring paper, with this cut apart. She said yes, same flowers. I think it had a different spine. I did like a material leather spine in the past when I made my own. But this time I was making it for somebody else. It was a custom order and I had so much fun making it. Now the inside of mine, I used a Simple Stories collection. This one, the inside pages are Rustic Elegance by Cartabella. So I used this collection here. I'm going to show you guys. I have some scraps left over. I was thinking of making like a little mini book, like a 3x4 mini notebook. And I love this ring paper. Like, I cannot let that go to waste. So I was thinking maybe the front and back covers with this paper for that little mini notebook. Not sure how many people would want that as a cover, but it's just so cute. And you know what? For somebody that's just getting engaged, that is a great little mini notebook as a gift so that they could write down whatever else they got to do for now that they're engaged. You know, there's a lot. Maybe they're going to be making their own decor as well. Like, they could write all that stuff down. Maybe they're going to keep track of the gifts that they get during their wedding, so they could write that down in the little mini notebook. So that is going to be really cute. But anyway, so this ring paper though is not part of this Rustic Elegance collection. Okay, this ring paper is Simple Stories Happily Ever After. And then the cut apart that I used on the front cover, the She Said Yes, that's from Wedding Bliss by Echo Park. And yes, they're like, those two are my favorite, and I wish I could get more of that ring paper. Wedding Bliss by Echo Park does have like a black background ring paper, and they do have the cut apart. So anytime you guys go on the Echo Park warehouse sales or the outlet website, they also have other things like regular price where you can get single sheets. So I had ordered a bunch of the single sheets with that cut apart just to use for that one cut apart that She Said Yes, because I love that cut apart. All right, so I'm gonna have everything also linked down below in the description box so you guys could check it out of the collections that I used. And now let's get into the project share. So also, I normally don't take like custom orders, but this one, and the only kind of custom orders I usually take are ones where people are like, okay, I want this exact album, and they just tell me what paper to use. Those are like custom orders that I'm like fine with. But when it comes to like people wanting this and that and like including all these other things, like I don't do those custom orders because usually it's just more stress than it's worth it to me. So I usually like to have like my projects made, then you guys get to see already what it looks like, whether it's on my YouTube or my Etsy, and then decide if you want to get it. That's why I normally have everything already made before it goes up. Like, I don't just do custom orders usually, but somebody reached out to me. They wanted an album just like my engagement album, or similar. So that is exactly what I had worked on, and that was like easy, right? And this person was so easy to work with, you guys. Like, she did not add any stress to my life, so it was so great. And she was very understanding when I needed to all of a sudden leave for 3 weeks to Poland. So I had taken the paper with me, did as much as I could in Poland, and then I came back and now I was able to finish the album. So here's what it looks like. It says She Said Yes on the front cover. I have the stitching, I've got gold foil detail, I added a little doily behind there, the beautiful flowers like I mentioned, and I added some greenery. This greenery, you guys, is a die set from Scrap Diva. It's the Leaves Bundle die set. I love it. Highly recommend getting it. So this die set has easily become one of my most used dies in my craft room. Like I said, it is called the Leaves Bundle. This is what it looks like. It is just one plate, and you could cut out your green scraps of cardstock, and you get all of these out of here. I also love this color green, so if you guys know where I could get more of that, let me know. This was actually from like a fall paper collection, but the back side was the solid green from like a really old paper pad that I had, and I just loved that green, so I had cut out as much greenery as I could with the leftover scraps. I love it. It's like a sage color. If you guys know where I could get just like sage green color, let me know. It's perfect. So I cut out any leaves with my green cardstock scraps, but I also do it with my gold cardstock scraps. So sometimes I want to use green, sometimes I want to use gold, and I just like cut it out a bunch of times in one shot. And then I have it, like I have a little stash of my greenery to add to whenever I add flowers on albums, which is almost all the time. I'm always adding flowers to the covers of my albums. So I'm going to have that link down below as well in case you guys want to get it. And if you guys do get anything from Scrap Diva, use the code Carolina for 10% off your order. Okay, so going on to the custom part of this, which is not something the customer asked for. I actually ended up asking her. I was like, what are their initials? What is the date? And I'm going to include it. And I was just kind of running with it. Whatever was inspiring me, that's what I wanted to add. And she also gave me like free will to kind of make it how I want to make it. And I love that. So thank you. Thank you so much for being so easy to work with. You know who you are. So here's what the front is. Here is the spine. These are their initials, D and L. I did two different like thickers I had in my stash. Don't ask me what collection. I have no clue. But the D and L was one collection, and the heart ones is another one. And I had the hearts in the letters also, but I just thought that this was cuter. So I did that. Here is the back. And I have a seam binding closure, so you guys could check out my Scrap Cabin shop for all of your seam binding needs. I'll have her link down below as well, because that's where I get all of my seam binding from. Then you open this up. Here I added in the date that they got engaged, which was July 31st, 2024. I actually had thickers that aren't gigantic, that were smaller, and I had all of them that I needed. I honestly need to use my thickers more. And this was like a perfect way to use some of those, because I used them here and I used them on the spine, like perfection, you guys. And then here they could just add like a full-size photo. Here I just did like a little acetate piece, and I had cut out with gold foil this ring, and I had glued it on both sides. And I also have in here, let me find it, in the envelope here, I have the piece that goes inside here. So if the recipient wants to cut out a photo that goes directly here, front and back, they can use these little circles to get that cut out. I know that when I did my album, I actually put my photo right down here on the inside. So I had glued mine right here, and then did a little something here, a little decoration, but that way it was kind of like peeking through, and this was still just like a ring by itself, but the recipient could do it however they want to do it. And actually, you guys, I have a whole tutorial on how I make these albums with the cinch wire and the sizing and stuff. If you're going to use a bigger wire, you're going to have to go a little bit wider. This is a 3/4 inch wire, but if you're going to use a 1 inch wire, you are going to have to make this album wider, and all of those details are in the tutorial. I have like, I think it's like a 4-part tutorial of when I made my own engagement album, so you guys could check that out. And I also have one sharing with you guys the photos, so I think it's like 5 whole videos to that series, but I will link it down below in case you guys want to watch that. So here we go. Here is just like that beautiful paper. Like I said, I would add my photo here. And then I have an insert in here where they can just do some journaling or add a photo or whatnot. So that just lives in this top loading pocket up here. Then this flips. Here I added in another little like cut apart. So you could just kind of flip this open just like that, or take this whole thing out and they could do some journaling, write down some more notes, maybe the story of how they got engaged or who was there, or whatever, or, you know. They could also do that here where it says, this is my favorite love story. And this was a 4x6 cut apart that I cut down so that it would fit in here. Turned it into a pocket. And I added in a little booklet in here using up some scraps of paper, stitched in some index cards so they could kind of just write their story here if they want. And that just looks like that. And I have this tucked in here. Then here in my album, I had like the dates of all of our firsts, but I didn't have their dates of like their first kiss, first date, first hello, first I love you, all that stuff. So they can write it in here with a marker if they want. Honestly, if I was to do that, I would probably print it out and print it on like sticker paper and then put it on here, just so it's more neater rather than my own handwriting, even though my handwriting isn't terrible, but I would rather have something like that. But anyway, or they could just add a photo to this, front and back, just a vellum piece. Here, this is a little tuck spot, just decorated a little bit, so you can see this kind of tucks in, just as you and me. And then here it says lovely day, another sticker, and this flips open and it looks like this. Here they've got another cut apart that just says you will forever be my always. And the top, you guys can't tell, but this part is open as well back there. You know what, let me add a tag just so the person knows that that is a open kind of tuck spot. I'm trying to find some seam binding in my stash. I like to go through my scrap stash of seam binding. So I used up all that tan that I was using in this collection. So I think we're gonna have to just cut a piece. We're gonna go with off-white. Here we go. I gotta get more of that tan color because it's a nice color. I don't even know what it's called. Let me see. So that tan color I think is called Stone Heath, something like that, if you guys could read that handwriting. But that's the kind of tan color, or like, it's kind of like a tan, but like a mauve-y tan. Anyway, so I'm just gonna put this little tag there so they could see that that's a tag tuck spot. Then here I made like an acetate window so they can add in a 4x6 size photo in this space here. I don't have anything there because they're just going to add in their photo. And then back here they could just write a little note here, or maybe how many guests they're inviting to their wedding as their wedding planning, or maybe just a little to-do list, whatever they want to do. Here I have a little pocket and I have this cut apart that just says all the details, date, who, what, and a little postcard cut apart. They could add photos to this, front and back, or maybe actually mail it. I don't know, whatever they want to do with that. And you guys could see I did some stitching around here, mainly around the pockets. That's usually where I did the stitching detail. Here also, which I forgot to point out. So there's that stitching. Then here they can add a full-size photo. You've got a save the date little cut apart. They could circle whatever date they're going to be getting married, or having maybe their engagement party or bridal party, whatever it is. Then here they could add another full-size photo. Then this flips. Here I've got a pocket, and here I just decorated with like this arrow sticker and this sticker that says she said yes, just like the front cover. And here we've got this cut apart, and they could do journaling or add photos in here. And this is not from any collection. This I just had in my stash, that cut apart. This one is from the Rustic Elegance, both of these. And this one flips open, and this one flips to the side. I have found the one whom my soul loves. And so that's super cute. Then here we got another cut apart that just says you and me. Here I've got an envelope, added a sticker, and it says documented. And they could just add in extra photos here, or maybe their invitation, what they're going to be sending out to people. for their wedding, and I just included these little circle kind of cut aparts in here, and that's closed with a Velcro closure. They could add a photo on the back. I've got this cut apart that just says happy. Here we've got a love, love, love cut apart, and this flips open. I have it glued down on 3 sides, and there's a little tag behind that, and then that flips. They could add a photo here. We've got another stitched pocket here with some goodies. This one says all my love. You've got this beautiful wreath, and they all have white matting on the inside except for the ones that are journal spots. So this is a journal card. This one doesn't. You could just add a photo directly to the back. So those all live in this pocket here. And the difference between this pocket is just glued down on 2 sides, doesn't have a gusset. This one will fit, where is it? This other one will fit more because this one is a gusseted pocket. You could see my stuff is kind of flying around in here because this one will fit more stuff along with obviously that envelope. All right, so then that flips. They can add a full-size photo here. Here it says together forever. I just added in this little tag. They could add a full-size photo. They don't need to use this tag. I was just kind of showing that that's a tuck spot. And then you open that up, and I have another pocket here with an extra tag, and then this says this is our happily ever after, and they could use it. They don't have to. And I was trying to stay away from all the the wedding cut aparts like Mr. and Mrs. or just married. Like I stayed away from all that because this is an engagement album. Then here I added in some trim that I had in my stash that has little hearts. I know that's from Hobby Lobby. Then I have a sticker here. It says me and you with a double pocket. So I actually stitched it down the middle and glued it down the middle so that this can be 2 kind of separate pockets. So you have a pocket here and a pocket here, and I just added in 2 blank tags, and then this flips open and they could add photos and photos. And then here they could add another photo, and then here I have this little booklet that I made where they can just write down some things on here. So they could just do some journaling, take notes. I have pink dyed paper that I made and some lined paper kind of mixed in here, more pink dyed paper, and then another lined paper. So that is that little notebook. Then this last page, I just took some, what are these called? Thickers from my stash, and I fit this on here that says forever. And then photo, they could add a photo. So that is the whole entire engagement album, you guys. I love how it turned out. I especially love like this on the spine. I don't know why I never did that on mine. I don't think I did. But there we go. So that is the engagement album. You guys could check out everything I mentioned in the description box down below for the collections that I used, the leaves die set if you guys want to get that, the seam binding and whatnot. And I'm going to be shipping this off to its new home. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this engagement album project share, something different because I don't share these kinds of things often on here. I don't make them that often to be honest. I usually do like the seasons and the holidays, and then it's like I have no time for anything else. But this was a nice it was nice to do something different this time. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next crafty video. Talk to you soon. Bye.